and you think IEBC is prepared for the election?
Well, first, things, of course, are starting to heat up as far as the election is concerned. From this voter registration process, we go straight to the issue of the final nomination process of the candidates, and then after that we are having the campaign period, and then we start preparing ourselves proper for the election. I think all hands should be on deck as far as IEBC is concerned. We are not starting very well as far as this voter verification process is concerned. I'm very concerned about voter education, because that's the major problem that we keep facing every time we come to an election. The other major worry, of course, is going to be ensuring that those systems, the KIMS system, are working, and that the capacity is good capacity by the staff which is handling that. So let us use this as a very good litmus test of whether the devices can be able to work. They need to be tested. We need to try to simulate, even if possible, and I think IEBC talked about a simulation process. I'm hoping that we can be able to do the simulation for the election day and see whether we can be able to have the devices operational or efficient. And if they are not going to be effective, or where there could be problems, it will be very important for IEBC to also be able to communicate to the people what is the backup process as far as this is concerned. My last point is that as part of the process that we are having for voter verification, LOG has proposed that it also wants to do another independent audit of the register within this particular time, just to add or to boost the confidence in terms of the entire exercise and the register itself at the end. If we have findings, we share them with IEBC, and they are able to work on in terms of the corrections in good time, then that will boost the confidence of the public as far as the register is concerned. But there is a lot of work to be done.
Okay, great.
Hussein, IEBC's preparation is underwhelming because stakes are very high. And I think the solution then is the citizenry to rise up to the occasion, the political parties as well to also rise up to the occasion, and also actually push people to do this verification. And moving forward, then IEBC must work, I've always emphasized here, in terms of their communication strategy. When you talk to them, they'll tell you rough and robust measures that they are taking, but these things are not reaching to the public. So if they are going to be doing those things at their anniversary towers, then we don't know, because Kenya is big. Kenya has 40 plus million people who really want to know. And Hussein, some of the pedestrians walking down there, they are the mamambogas, they are the people who are riding the borders. They need a toned down message that tells them what IEBC is doing, so that we enhance the confidence of both the parties and also the players.
Okay. And finally, Muduma.
Yeah, I think two things, I'll just talk about two things which I think are very important in this regard. Number one is the credibility of the process, and secondly is the goodwill from all the players involved. By this I mean the political parties, I mean, you know, the chairman of IEBC, you know, the people who are looking into the elections, and also civil society. I think all these people must come and give goodwill to this process. And when we talk about giving the goodwill to this process, we know already, and I stand on this, IEBC may tell us that they are ready, but we are still time barred, given the fact that we are given a blueprint of how to do our elections by the Johansson-led the Krigler-led commission. But we have actually faltered on that very basis. And Hussein, when you look at how we are talking about invoking technology into this whole exercise, you get the picture that technology coming in should make our work easier. So anybody from the periphery would ask, then why are we going through all the problems that we are facing? It is because there is still the lack of goodwill. Really, Hussein, it is a very simple exercise. I was telling somebody the other day that we are still voting manually, and that person could not understand what I was talking about. You've heard what the IEBC manager has said. They have the tabs. What these tabs are doing, the EVIDs, what they are just doing is verifying that if Hussein is the person who says he's coming to vote, it is Hussein who is showing up. That is all the technology is doing for us at this juncture. But once they verified it is Hussein coming in, they give you the paperwork. You have to go fill it manually, you have to fold it, and you have to put it in the voting basket. So that process is still manual. But many people do not still understand that that element is manual. The other thing that we need to talk about is equipment will fail, like we have agreed. I mean, look at the aeroplanes. They have 7 backups, but they still fall from the sky. The question we should be asking is, what are the measures that have been put in place to mitigate the risks that will come up? I started by telling you, I saw somebody spill a soda. You know, this was a clerk in one of the computers, but within a short period of time, let's say about 20-30 minutes, another device had been brought and the exercise continued unhindered. So what is there? What have they taken into consideration all these factors? When an equipment fails, as it will, how long does it take to bring another one? So the factors that are going to mitigate the risks that are going to come out, have they been taken into consideration? And then again, like I've said, we need to give the goodwill in this process. And I think if we all agree to ensure that we have a credible election, then August 8th will just come and go.
Okay. We'll continue, of course, following the verification exercise all this morning on Citizen Extra. Gabriel Muduma and Reo Ching still stay with us for the next hour. Mule Misao, the national and regional coordinator of the Election Observation Group, thank you so much for making time for us. This morning, coming up in the next 1 hour, we follow the police recruitment exercise that kicks off today countrywide, plus what could be in the offing. Is it the entry of a 3rd horse in the so-called 2-horse race, that is the presidential race in the August polls? Join us.